see too if you want to do that. And I can't cover everything in one day. It's impossible, right? So I'm trying to do the best I can with the time I have. So angle DEF, I hope that you're okay with finding those. There's going to be at least one question with 3-letter angle notation on the test, at least one. So you need to be able to just see where it is, right? So DEF, it's this one right here. Okay. And so that one, you should see that it's supplementary, right? Today's pink, right? Wear pink day. I should have taken my pink shirt. Couldn't find it this morning. But there it is. There's that angle. You should also see, hey, right? These two are what? They're called supplementary. They make a semicircle, right? So all you need to do here is 180 minus 135, which ends up being 45 degrees. Okay, so that's all you need there. This is a supplementary angle. So now we know that this is 45 in here. Okay. So 1 mark, that should have given it away. Next, calculate the length of side DF. Where is DF located? DF is this side right here. Okay, side DF. So what law would I use there? Cosine law, right? Side, angle, side. So think of it this way. You need the side, the angle between sides. So that's side, angle, side. That's cosine law, right? Cosine law. Let's get the mouse out of the way there. So m squared, make sure you write it down correctly. A lot of you lost marks for notation, right? So 25.8 squared, 33.4 squared, and then you know the drill, right? This is your formula. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster here, guys, because I wanna get through a bunch of stuff, including the quiz. So let's focus here once. It feels like it's off focus there. You root it, no more m squared here, and this gives you 562.54 dot dot dot. So m is 2372 inches. That is your answer there. Okay. 1 mark for cosine law, 1 mark for work, 1 mark for final answer. And we're done with that question. Next. Amrinder, so a lot of these names are former students. So if your name ever happens to show up in one of my tests or whatever, I apologize if that bothers you. So if once you graduate, then I use your names, right? Amrinder takes his boat out for a spin. He's heading towards the cliff, right? And notices Dwayne Johnson is standing on the top of the hill, right? At an angle of elevation of 50 degrees, so there it is. Then keeps going, right? Another 200 yards, looks up again, right? The closer you get to something, the higher your angle of elevation is going to be, right? And so there's the 70. So it's all set up ready. What can we do here? Determine angle ABD. Where is that? ABD, right? So they're asking for this one. Let's go with pink for that one. Okay, so this is pink. And let's go with orange for the other one. ADB, where is that located? ADB, it's this one up here. Hey, life is so much better with some color in it, eh? So add some highlighters there if you need to. So angle ABD, you can rename it if you want. This would be 180 minus 70, right? Because it's supplementary. 180 minus 70. So that's just 110 degrees. Boom. Angle ADB. Now you're inside the triangle, right? You have this now. You have this is 110. So these two give you that orange one, right? They will automatically give you that. And in doing so, you'll get a pair. Okay, that's usually you remember the hidden pair? couple that hasn't made it official, right? They're not holding hands or anything. So, right, this is the one you want. So it's 180 minus 50 minus 110. I got to do some mental math there. So this is 160. So that's 20, right? 20 degrees for this one. Write it in with a pen or something. Boom. And now you've got your pair. This is going to be very weird, but anyways, there's your pair. Okay. This and this go together. They don't separate. That's it, right? They're together. So determine the distance between Amrinder's first location A and Dwayne. So from here straight to the rock, right? So what are we going to call that? I'm going to call that X maybe, right? That's what we're after. I'm going to start with my pair, okay? 200 yards. So sine of angle over the side across from it. And here you have to be careful. If you pick 50, you're solving for this side. That's not what they're asking. You got to pick 110 because that's going to ultimately give you that side. So sine of 110 over x, like that. Please show this step here. If you want full marks, if you don't care, do what you've been doing, right? So this gives you 549.50, that's right, yards. Circle your final answer. There you go. Okay. So that intermediate step, make sure you show that, right? And there you go. Or what is it asking next? Calculate the height of the cliff. Call that side H. So we're after this one here. Now there's a couple of ways to do this. Okay, but here's how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to use this big triangle here. See that? My pencil is following it. That's the one I'm going to use. So let's see here. I'm going to retrace it. Let's do that here. Right, there's a 90 here. H. This is 549.50. This is 50, right? Because I'm bringing this one down. And that's going to allow me to find the height. So I have a pair here, right? And then I find H. Exciting stuff, right? I know. I know. I think I got to start making shorts, right? Short videos, and those are my lessons. Watch a bunch of shorts. Keep you awake. Anyways, cross, multiply, and divide. I'm realizing that I'm actually getting rid of my own job slowly, right? I'm posting videos and videos. Soon the division is gonna be like, hey, what do we need you for? We're just gonna grab your videos and just put the students in your class, and that's it. Press play. What are we at? 420, 94 yards. Inches? All right. So there we go. Lots going on, right? The test is going to be mostly more like AB, not so much ABC, right? So a test will probably be like something like this, and then solve for one of the sides. But there could be, what is it, ABD, right? I don't even know my ABCs. But anyways, that's how you do this. So you got to be careful here how you make sure your pairs, the original pairs, stay together, okay? All right, next page. And I'm going to leave the leasing. I'm going to give you the answers because some of you did it, but I'm going to stop there. So one last time, the angle Y, it's asking for Y. This one here, you should see that there's a 90 here, okay? There's a 90 there at that corner, right here. And I know 55. So y is just 90 minus 55. So angle y is 90 minus 55, which is 35 degrees. Boom, 1 mark. Okay. So now you know that one. This is 35. Do I have a pair? Yeah, 55 is paired up with 42. See? They're right there. No. Look inside the triangle. This angle goes with that side right there. So that is my pair. Most of the time, it's sine law, right? That's just how it goes. But not always. Right? So we've got sine of 35 over, I don't like that too much. I should change that. I don't like 35, 35. It's gonna, well, whatever. It is what it is. It's not like it can't be done. So sine, watch this one, sine of x, right? This angle is gonna be across that side. So we're gonna have to use inverse here, okay, guys? So you treat it the same way before, but a lot of you drop the sign. Okay, you say I don't like it, just get rid of it, right? Like just push it away. But you can't yet. Okay, so you multiply like that, right? Cross multiply, then divide. Get a decimal out of that. I got 0.688. Boom, boom, boom. It just keeps going on my calculator. Then the next step is, hey, angle x would be sine inverse of that, which is 43.5 or 50 degrees. That's that angle right there. And now you have 2 out of the 3. You could find a third one, no problem, right? Okay, the angle at the turning point. So this is where the turn happens. You can actually write that down, right? The angle right here is what they're asking for. You could use sine law to do that, but I'm not going to do. Can you use sine law? No, you couldn't. You don't have the side across. Like there's no. So you need to use the sum of triangle. So I'm going to take 35 away from it. I'm going to take away the one I just found. So those two angles, right? These two here, I'm going to subtract from 180. And you have angle T, let's call it, is 101.5 degrees. 1 mark. Let the marks guide you, right? Even on an exam, on a test. If it's a 1 marker, don't do sine law. It's probably too much work. It can be done, but I would say don't do it. Calculate the distance between the start and the final destination. So the question wants this one. I'm going to use cosine law here, okay? You ready? I know you've been waiting for it. Not. You can use sine law. I'm going to use cosine law. Why? How so? I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on the fact that I have the 35, the 42, and now I have this angle here, right, that I just found. So side angle side, it allows me to solve for this side, which I'm going to call y. Okay, so side angle side, cosine law. So let's go. Y squared is equal to 35 squared plus 42 squared. Should fast forward this way. Goes 101.5. Y is equal to root of 3575.14 ... right? Thank you. There we go. Inches, miles, miles. Just picking on Kaylee. Yeah. I'm going to stop there for trig. I'm going to show you the answers for the leasing part so you know if you're interested. And leasing isn't going anywhere, so it's still good practice if you got around it. No mileage here, so Don't worry about the mileage. The cost of buying the car, we're told what the guaranteed residual value is, so it's simply just adding 12% taxes to that. Total purchase price of buying the brand new car, assuming there's a trade-in, right? So new is price minus trade, and then we add taxes to that. Why should someone lease a car? Lower payments, and you can return the car at the end of the lease. You always drive a new car, but financing is, financing, you're not always driving a new car, right? Okay, so you keep this, okay? You see how you did, and I'm going to give you your quizzes back, and I'm going to just tack on the quiz correction to this video, okay? You can go through it in a bit at a slower pace, but for the quiz here, you have to pick C. Like, that's the only one that allow you to use the sign law because there's a pair. AAA cannot be solved, right? Angle, angle, angle. It just cannot be solved, right? So if that is a question I'm asking, hey, maybe it'll come in handy. Then the solving part, N stands for notation, U is units, and R is rounding, run, right? Run from those mistakes. So I need the setup, I need that intermediate step, and then I need the final answer. And remember, this is your pair. The pair stays together, okay? This one here, B, was a cosine law, SAS. So you got to use this formula, this version of the formula to solve for a side, and that's 5.8. When it's side, 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 it is important, extremely important, that if this is the angle you're finding, that you're now focusing on that side, right? So that is the side, watch here. That's the side that should be subtracting here, right? That tells you that you're solving for that angle. If you're subtracting 88 at the back here, then you're actually solving for angle S, right? So keep that in mind. Backside, this is actually an old exam question, by the way. This one, it's copy paste, I don't know, 2012 or something like that. Long time ago. Maybe not that long ago, I'm not sure. But two angles and a side, you might think you're stuck. You might think, hey, cosine law. No, you can't. Remember, cosine law needs at least two sides to even consider it. Can't be done. So you need to find your third angle, 94. That's a mark. And then you have a pair. And then you set it up and solve. And then the bottom one, it asks for this angle right here. And again, I'm going to highlight that. That's the angle. That means that this side is the one that goes at the back of your formula here. Okay. Subtracting 856 here ensures that you have, and it's an obtuse angle in this case, because we end up with a negative numerator. Okay? You're with me? No? You're already thinking, I want to get out of here. I don't blame you. This one was, again, very similar. You have your pair, right? And then you're rounding. You're using 40. You're using this angle to solve for that side. Okay? So you have to make sure that's the angle you chose. And then same here. I'm now finding the third angle here, 30, to allow me to solve for A. Right? So I start with the original pair, and now I have 30 over A, and there it is. That's the side. And here's where some of you struggled, solving for an angle using sine law. But I just did that in the AC, right? The mock test, I literally just did that. So I'm just going to let you see that, right? You start very similarly, but you need to stick with sine F and then ultimately take the inverse, okay? Take the inverse. And then for B, you were required to use your previous answer So combined with the 105 and this one, you could solve angle E. Sorry, F and D you had. So now you could solve for angle E, which allow you to solve for side E. Okay, wall E. Next page. The boathouse. This had to do with the height, but the first two are literally what we've been doing all along. So remember, when you have, can I just say this real quick because it's going to happen? When you have a dashed line, forget about the dashed line at first. Focus on the big triangle. Then you right, because you need your pair, so you use these two angles to come up with that third angle, which gives you the pair. And with that, you solve for one slanted. This one asks you to solve for both of these slanted sides here. But you have to read carefully what it's asking you for. And then when you have to find the height, you slice that original and you pick either one of the sides here, either one of these sliced pieces. Please don't divide 500 into 250. It's not true. We're not guaranteed that this dashed line is slicing that in half. You can't. 500 stays with the original. And then there you have it. You find the height that way. You go sine of 90 across that, and then sine of this over W, which is the width of the river, and there you have it. This is your angle of depression. So make sure you understand that it's between the horizontal and the line of sight looking down. I'll tell you, do you mind board? Because, I'm thinking long term once we're done this unit. So I basically, if it's side, side, side or side angle side, right, you have to use this version. If it's all three sides, you have to use that version of it. But if you have a pair, you know it's sine law. If it's side, it will look like this, right, where the lowercase letter is unknown. Everything else is just plugged in a number, just random, just to make sure. If it's an angle that you're trying to find, right, then you're going to end up with A like that. Like that's going to be an unknown letter. And I'm telling myself to use inverse, sine inverse, and I use cosine inverse with this one. So that's important for you to remember. Okay? Use cosine inverse here, use sine inverse with that scenario. So if if that helps you at all, you can use that for, and remember vehicle finance, loans, just loans like payments, stuff like that. There's going to be one section on that for tomorrow's test. Okay. Last period of the day tomorrow. So